What's up guys, Sleepz here with another episode of my Journey to Ultimate Team, and if you guys enjoyed this series then you are in for a treat today because as you guys can probably tell by now, we have ourselves quite a long episodes on hand today. Now getting right into it, we are going to go ahead and finish up the fourth tier of the starter objectives, and as usual it seems like every time the last one seems to be something to do with single player, so you know we went into seasons, we put it on beginner difficulty and we just quickly got the W so we could receive our reward, which was I believe 200 coins. So now that we have finished doing that, we're done with the fourth tier of the starter objectives, moving on to the fifth, which we will just gradually do over time. The way I'm basically handling this is I naturally play FIFA, and once I notice that I've done 2 or 3 of the starter objectives, I just go in and purposely try to finish off the 1 or 2 that may be remaining. So we're going to go ahead and open up the rewards that we got. Of course, these rewards are terrible. You get things like silver gift packs, silver contract packs, gold gift packs, things that you basically have no chance of getting anything good. So we're going to just quickly speed through all these, store those in the club. You never know, we might end up using those for SBCs. And now we are going to proceed on to our foot draft. I asked you guys a few episodes ago if you guys wanted me to use the 850 FIFA points out and out on packs, or if I should do another foot draft. You guys said foot draft, which honestly it does make sense. I just didn't know if I wanted to put myself through the stress again. So we are going to go ahead and go into foot draft. I went for the 4-3-3. It was basically between that one or the 4-5-1, I believe, but I ended up just going with this one in hopes I'd get to use Ronaldo. Lo and behold, he was actually our captain, so we do have Ronaldo up there at the left wing. And then our strikers, we got nothing to link with Ronaldo, so I just went with Aubameyang just because he's Aubameyang and he's in form. And then on the right-hand side, we get Messi, and I'm thinking, okay, hopefully I can get some La Liga CMs to kind of fill in the gaps here that I have created. But you guys are going to see that we do get a bit unlucky, like they're giving me BPL, Ligue 1, Serie A, and I'm just like, what am I supposed to do with this? So in the end, I actually ended up deciding to go with Fabregas just in the hopes that I'd get a Spanish La Liga center mid. You know, the chances of that are quite high, right? We move on to the next position, and we get nothing but non-rares, first of all, and then we have nobody again from La Liga and nobody Spanish. So I went with this guy just to get at least one link going into Aubameyang. We actually went through 5 players there and almost had no links in the foot draft. That is a pretty terrible start. But we got ourselves something that we can actually use there. Denis Suarez plays for Barcelona, so I immediately knew, okay, Messi's going to have himself a little bit of help. But then we get to the left back situation, and absolutely nothing. Like, our foot draft's a little bit more difficult to put together this year because from what I can remember, usually when you started off with Ronaldo, you basically got a full La Liga team after. So this time, they're definitely trying to sabotage us, ruin our chemistry. And not only that, we got not 1, but actually 2 non-rare selections in the starting 11, and I'm like, what is going on, EA? So I ended up going with Danny Rose at left back for no particular reason, just because he seemed like a decent left back to use. We did get a non-rare center back from the Premier League, so we're going to go ahead and go with him. And then we also went with Matip here, who was 83, so he's not all that bad. A little bit on the slow side, both of these center backs. They're both a below 70 pace, but at least we have a little bit of chemistry going there. And then we go onto our right back position. We do get Coleman, who only has 73 pace again. So going into this foot draft, I'm thinking that this is pretty terrible because our entire back line, apart from Danny Rose, is quite slow. Even Coleman, only 73 pace, like he took a big hit in the pace department. We do fortunately get a Premier League goalkeeper, and now we are going to move on to the bench. Now, from the bench, what we need is at least 1 more Spanish center mid from La Liga. That would be very nice. I would like to hopefully get a better right back than Coleman, which we already got in the form of ones to watch Kyle Walker. And also, it would be amazing to get a La Liga striker of some kind because Aubameyang and that random center mid from the Bundesliga is just crushing our chemistry at the moment. So if we could fill in those gaps, and, you know, a nice center back would be good as well. That non-rare looks absolutely terrible, so a center back wouldn't do too bad either. So we do end up getting Danny Sturridge, which I'm thinking, okay, I have Fabregas. Hopefully I can maybe stick him up there. I've got Fabregas. I can use the Spanish center mid that I got from Benyat. So I'm kind of already piecing together the team in my mind. Now, finally, we do get ourselves an icon to use, which I'm going to definitely replace Danny Rose with. And here you guys see our foot draft summary was a squad rating of 165. Pretty terrible. I think I could have switched around the chemistry before submitting it, but nonetheless, 165 is quite shocking. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play Fabregas through the middle. We're going to bring on Sturridge to replace Aubameyang just for chemistry purposes, and then more than likely I'll just end up subbing on Aubameyang every single time. Maldini at left back obviously is a huge help because he'll give us links thanks to him being an icon where links normally would not be, and we do actually achieve 100 chem when it is all said and done. So let's move on to this first match. This guy has a 4-2-3-1 Premier League side, apart from a couple of French players in there, including Thierry Henry. And I have to say, if there's one icon that I really want to use this year, it's got to be Thierry Henry, because I've come up against him 2 or 3 times now, all in foot draft. And every time I come up against him, he's just such a handful to deal with. His pace, it seems like he has pace, strength, great technique, great finishing. It's just really hard to deal with him. So Henry is definitely somebody that I want to use somewhere along the lines of this series. It'd be awesome to eventually own him. You guys saw there I made the sub. I did bring on Aubameyang for Sturridge like I said I would. I ended up giving Sturridge a chance in this game. Like, I just gave him like 20-30 minutes to see how he could impact the game. He wasn't doing good enough. Aubameyang comes on, and then like 5 minutes later he ended up scoring. We are going to make it 2-0 there. Good interchange between Aubameyang and Denis Suarez, and Denis Suarez actually smashes that one into the top right. He is going to pull one back here, though, with Rashford, and you guys can see there I was controlling the defender, waiting for the cutback, but it's like he didn't cut it back enough. He just brought it back just a little bit and just rolled it into the corner. My keeper could not get there. And then Rashford, basically after that, just started turning into a god. You see him dabbing on me and everything. He gets himself a brace there, and right here he is actually going to complete a hat-trick. There was Henry. The deflected ball falls to Rashford, and there's no way any player in this game is going to miss an open net like that. So we actually take a loss, guys, in the first round of the foot draft. So that one really, really stung. I think that's only like the second time I've ever lost in the first round of foot draft in my FIFA career. So that one really, really, really hurt. And not only is that the first loss in the first round of foot draft, it's our first loss on the Journeys to Ultimate Team account. So you guys know I had to go right back into another foot draft. There was no way I was going to let that slide. We do have enough FIFA points for just one more. I'm not going to put on any more FIFA points. I know we're only 50 FIFA points away from affording another one, but we're just going to go ahead and go into this next one and then use the remaining 250 to open packs individually. Now, this time around, I did go for a 4-4-1-1 because I was kind of regretting going for a 4-3-3 in the last one. I think I would have done better off in a 4-5-1. For some reason, this year in FIFA, I'm sort of leaning towards those formations early on. Maybe that'll change as the game evolves, but I'm a fan of like the 4-2-3-1. I like the 4-5-1. The 4-4-1-1 seemed okay in this one. Like, I'm kind of leaning towards formations with lots of midfielders, left and right mids, and just a lone guy up top. They seem to be performing well for me so far. So we went for a captain as Lacazette. I was actually tempted to go for Messi, but this time I wanted Lacazette to be the main guy. Kind of similar to the last time we did draft. We just wanted our captain to be the guy that was in charge of getting the goals. And so far, everything was going great until we got to the center forward position. And when I was putting together this squad, I think I may have been just a little bit tilted still from that loss that I took prior, because I basically went into this draft right after. And looking back on this in hindsight, and I was watching the decisions I made, it would have definitely been smarter to go for Jeremy Menez there, because it would have at least given a link to Lacazette. But instead I went for Bradley Wright Phillips for some reason, probably because I'm a Red Bulls fan, and I just figured, you know what, let's get Bradley Wright Phillips. So we did get a bit lucky, though. You guys see there, we get the informed Kevin De Bruyne, 90 overall at center mid. That is a very nice one. And I'm actually very happy with getting Renato Sanchez as well. In FIFA, if there's one thing that is very important, is to have those workhorses in the midfield. And Renato Sanchez falls into that category. At left back, we get a random left back, and we got Gaia. We have nobody from La Liga in the team thus far, but we did get Gaia. And then after that, I'm like, okay, perhaps my back line is going to have to be La Liga, so let's go with Umtiti here. And his center back partner is actually going to be Inigo Martinez. And they're not all that bad. They're kind of on the small side. I think Umtiti might be 5'11". He might be 6 foot even, but I think Inigo Martinez is actually like 5'10". So I kind of have some short center backs. And then at right back, I did want to use Antonio Valencia or Walker, but we're going to go with Kappa here, just for the sake of chemistry. He doesn't look terrible. I mean, his defending is a bit low and physical is a bit low, but he's got 86 pace. He should get the job done well enough. And our goalkeeper, to cap this off, we unfortunately did not get one from La Liga. We are going to go with Casillas to hold it down between the sticks. And now let's move on to the bench. Now from the bench, first and foremost, the most important thing I need is a Premier League center attacking mid or center mid. Either of those will do fine, because if I get a center mid, I'll just put De Bruyne there, and then I'll put the center mid at center mid, obviously. And fortunately for us, we weren't in suspense for much long. We got Sigurdsson, and that's going to we're just going to throw him in that spot, and that's going to boost our chemistry quite a bit. From there, another thing I needed was a goalkeeper from La Liga. And you guys can actually see I got one here, but like I said, I think I put together this foot draft when I was a bit tilted because of the loss from the last foot draft, so I completely ignored that one. Right there I had Cillessen, I completely ignored Cillessen, and then I'm just getting wingers for some reason, just to, I guess, provide energy coming off that bench. And then right here, who do we get again? We actually get Maldini. Now, I went for Maldini to improve the chemistry, and just because I'm a big sucker for the icons, guys. I never played on Xbox. I have never had access to Legends, so just looking at those cards gets me so excited. So I went for Maldini, and again, ignored yet another goalkeeper from La Liga, which would have been Ter Stegen. But it's okay, at least Casillas is getting the 1 Spanish link, and he is an 83 overall. So the changes we are going to make is we're going to actually put Hazard there instead of Son. He's 90 overall. There's no reason to not use him. We're going to put Maldini there at left back, obviously, and we're just going to stick Sigurdsson right in that number 10, and this team easily got 100 chemistry. Now, we have put the team together, and we are ready to get into our first match. And this guy has a 4-3-3, basically a La Liga team. He was actually fortunate enough as well to get Michael Laudrup at the right wing position. What's going on with us? I'd really love to have one of the attackers. We get Maldini in back-to-back, which is nice, but I really would love to use one of the attackers. Anyway, we're on the ball right here with Kevin De Bruyne, and as you can see here, I'm just kind of feeling him out. I'm like, are you going to pressure me? What are you going to do? You're not really reading my pass. You're not really pressuring me. You're just kind of standing in front. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to try to sprint across and try a long shot, and KDB in form manages to put it into the corner from distance to give us the lead. He does equalize, though, there with Gamero, but we do manage to fight back. Kevin De Bruyne just putting the team on his back. He finds space in the box and puts that one away to give us our lead back. And then Lacazette right here, just amazing feat. He just tiptoes his way past like 3 or 4 guys, finds some space in the box, and smashes that one in. We are going to make it 4-1 here with Hazard. He finds space out wide, and he just bends it in. The keeper's rushing out, so there wasn't much he could do. And we're going to completely kill this game off, making it 5-1. Lacazette in the 90th minute is going to chip that one over the goalkeeper to seal the deal. All right, that is a much better first performance in the draft compared to last time. We were dominating this match, and eventually we did get the fruits of our labor. So let's move on to the second match. And in this next match, this guy has a 4-1-2-1-2, and this guy also was fortunate enough to get not 1 but 2 icons. EA, seriously, can I get an icon in my draft? So he has Hadji there at the number 10, and he basically has quite a few Premier League players. He's got Lacazette, he's got Vardy, so a nice pacey strike partnership. We almost opened up the scoring there with KDB, but it does come off the post, and he is actually going to take the lead there. Lacazette managed to turn himself into some space and finishes at the near post nicely. We should probably be equalizing there with Hazard, but unfortunately for us, the keeper comes up with a big save, and as you guys saw there, it's actually the 77th minute, and I know now is the time. We need to score. We got 13 minutes left. We need to do something, and we need to do it now. So we bring on Heung-min Son, and Heung-min Son manages to find an equalizer in the dying minutes of the game. That was literally the last kick of regulation time. We're going to play this one over the top to Mane. The rebound falls to Mbappe, and thankfully for us, we go up 2-1, and we manage to hold on to that to see us through to the semifinals. Guys, I cannot stress enough how intense this foot draft was. I mean, it was, that game was very tight, and the opponents that I'm coming up against now in foot draft were much harder than the first time I played it the few episodes back. Anyway, let's move on to the semifinal here. We're hoping to get the win and cruise on to the final, obviously. And this guy had a very interesting team. So it's basically all La Liga. And at center back, he had Lucas Vazquez. Now, you think that that would be something that I could just easily exploit, right? And maybe I'm exploiting it here because you see I'm just winning corner after corner. I win 2 in a row, Maldini getting on the end of each of those, and then I deliver another one here. Sigurdsson's going to get on the end of this one and finally put it away. But other than that, for the majority of this game, if you hadn't told me that Lucas Vazquez was back there, I wouldn't have noticed anything different, which is a little frustrating. You would think playing a winger at center back would be a huge detriment. Perhaps I just wasn't doing something right, but I really could barely tell. Anyway, 60 minutes into this one, this guy finds an equalizer with Thierry Henry. Sigurdsson with an attempt from close, but his keeper does come up with a save. However, Sigurdsson is going to get a second bite at the cherry, and Sigurdsson makes it 2-1. So Sigurdsson putting the team on his back in the semi-final. KDB did it in the first round, Sigurdsson doing it in this round, and we do just about manage to make it to the finals with this team. And now we just have to chase after this last win. Now guys, before this match even starts, I just want to let you guys know that this is definitely one of the craziest matches of FIFA I've played in FIFA. Well, actually I should say it is the craziest match I've played in FIFA 18, but it might just be in the top 3 of craziest matches of FIFA I've played in general. We are going to go down in this game, however, it's the 28th minute. He's going to pass it to Lanzini, find some space in the box, and Casillas gets a little bit of a glove on that, but it does manage to go into the corner. Now guys, you guys are going to see I have to make a huge change in this one, because if there was one player that I was just not impressed with for the entirety of the draft, I would say it was Lacazette. I know he picked up a couple goals, but when he picked up the goals, they weren't clutch goals. They were like goals when I was already winning, and I wasn't really impressed with him in this match either. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to take him out entirely. I'm going to put Son as the striker. He's got the 5-star weak foot. He should be able to finish quite a few chances. Let's take out Lacazette and let's put Insani out on the wing, and let's see how this plays. And also another big change was we put Hazard in through the middle. Now hopefully that's going to make a difference, and right there it definitely did. We passed it off to Hazard in the middle, first time rip, and he scores. Now this is going to be the beginning of a ridiculous goal scoring exchange. This guy goes up in the 73rd to make it 2-1. It is now the 76th. We pass that off to Son. Son is going to make it 2-2. Now after that, just minutes later in the 80th minute, we're going to play in Son in behind. He's clean in, and he's going to finish that one to make it 3-2. And then have a look at the clock, guys. It is now the 82nd minute, and he's going to score with Saha to make it 3-3. So we went from scoring just 2 goals to scoring 4 in the space of 10 minutes. It was pretty ridiculous. Now that is going to be the end of the 90. We are into extra time here. We couldn't make any substitutions. We had already used our 3 subs. He is going to go up early in the 96th minute there, which was kind of suspect too. You guys see he kind of knocked over my defender. I'm not sure what happened, but we are going to equalize. Son comes on and scores a hat-trick. It was one of the clutchest changes of the entire draft. Putting Son up top was definitely a game changer. Now that was it for the duration of extra time. It did come down to penalties, and this is what happened.
Well, he scored, no problem. That's a good penalty, isn't it? That's a good penalty. His shootout's very testing. Wonderful reach. He's got to it and turned it away. Well, it's close, but it goes down as a miss.
It certainly does, and it was a poor effort in many ways. Didn't strike it cleanly.
The keeper saved it. That's a fine penalty from him in these circumstances. All the pressure is on the kick-taker here. If he doesn't score, they'll lose the game. And he scores his penalty. Well, it's down to him now. If he scores, they win the game. And Casillas keeps it out. They've got a good penalty taker in this fella. And the goalkeeper saved it. It's potentially the match-winning penalty. A goal and the game is theirs. Off target with the penalty.
Well, look at his run-up, and even that looked wrong. It was a poor effort.
Put the penalty away. Very confident he was. Beat the goalkeeper well in this penalty shootout. And it's Casillas with a top save. So the spotlight spotlight turns to this player. Score and they win. It's as simple as that. If only it was. And he's put it away to get the winning penalty.
Well, it can look easy, can't it?
Alright guys, so that was a pretty intense penalty shootout. That penalty shootout had so many highs and lows. It was ridiculous. That is definitely not good for my heart, and I hope to never to be in a penalty shootout like that again. Nonetheless, we do manage to win it. So we are going to redeem our rewards here. We're hoping for better than last time. Last time we got a couple of premium gold players pack and a 5K pack. This time we do get a 5K pack and we also get a 50K pack to accompany it. Now I'm sure you guys want me to rip those packs open and we will do so. But first I wanted to add one more pack to that pack opening. And we're going to go ahead and do the Hometown Heroes, or the Home League Heroes I should say, SBC, which gives us an additional premium gold players pack. And we're going to go ahead and rip through those bad boys now. We still have the ones from earlier, the gold pack that I got from the failed foot draft. So we're going to fly through all these. You know, the chances of you getting something in the 5K pack are really bad, so I will slow it down once we get to the 50K pack because I know that's the most exciting part. We're going to fly through these, and I am, like I did mention, I'm going to go ahead and use the 250 FIFA points that remain to just open packs manually. In that last pack, we actually got a shadow card, which is, you know, that's decent. When you get a 5K pack and you get a hunter card or a shadow card, it was definitely worth it. Now we're going to go ahead and open these, and these weren't all that great either. If you guys have been keeping track, that is actually my 4th gold pack in a row, and we got 0 rares. Can we get a rare out of the 7.5K pack? And unfortunately for us, we do not. So that's 5 packs in a row with no rares, and I'm thinking, really, is this going to be my pack luck today? Like, this is just terrible. So let's move on to the 25K pack, hoping for some flares. We do get those, and we get Çalhanoğlu, 79 overall. Pretty terrible, but that's okay. We've been building up to this 50K pack. This episode is all about the 50K pack, and what do we get inside? We get our first inform, and I see the Belgian flag, and I'm thinking, yes, Kevin De Bruyne. No, we get ourselves a right back, and it is Meunier, but it could have been worse. I was actually looking at the team of the week, and Fellaini and the other goalkeeper, there's a Belgian goalkeeper that's also in form, and both of those players were actually going for less than him, and I can understand why. Meunier kind of looks like the complete player. He's one of those players that has almost full 80s, and what's inside the pack along with him? Another inform. So doing this foot draft and going through all the stress and possibly getting a few more gray hairs was definitely worth it, because Meunier was going for a little bit upwards of 50K. The other inform wasn't really going for anything, but I'm actually not going to sell him because I'm sure that down the line there are going to be SBCs that require Team of the Week items, and whenever they require the Team of the Week items, I'm either A, going to own one so I don't have to buy one, or B, I'm going to sell them when the very cheap informs normally usually double if not triple in price. Everything else in the 50K pack wasn't all that great. I actually accidentally list up Kolasinac by accident. I actually wanted to click compare price and I ended up listing him on the transfer market. But that is going to be it for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoyed that foot draft final, if any of this episode made you happy at all, if you enjoyed the inform, please make sure to hit that like, guys. This was a very long episode. I don't know if too many more will be this long, but I felt a little weird splitting the foot draft into 2 videos. I felt like that wasn't any fun. I wanted to kind of just get it all over with in one shot. So guys, as usual, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.